the deadlift. So the deadlifts that we're going to be performing is with the band. All right, so I have here a black resistance band. You can also use a medium resistance or a light resistance depending on your level of strength. All right, but for this purpose, you can use the black or the medium. That will give you some resistance with regards to performing the deadlifts. Now, when performing the deadlifts, you want to stand on the band like this and hold it. You can wrap the ends around the hand a little bit just to give it some resistance. You want to make sure that the feet are about shoulder width apart. Keep the hands in front of you, and you're going to allow the band to pull it down a little bit and then up. Down and then up. I'm going to show you from side view. I'm going to turn to the side a bit so you can see it from the lateral view here. So again, the deadlift is a hinge exercise. The deadlift is a hinge exercise, and what you want to do when performing the deadlift, like I had said, you want to keep your core tight. All right, so brace your core, keep the core tight throughout this exercise. Keep the feet about shoulder width apart, and when you're performing the deadlift, you want to make sure that you're hinging at the hips. So you initiate the movement from the hips, not from the knees. You initiate the movement from the hips. You can soften the knees a little bit, but emphasis is on the hips, all right? This is a glute dominant exercise, so you're working your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings. The lower back, glutes, and hamstrings, all right? Those are the primary muscles that you're working for this exercise. So you're going to hinge at the hips. You're driving the hips back as if you're pushing them further back to touch the wall or to touch something behind you, and then up. All right, drive the hips back, keep the chest up and in. Drive the hips back. So again, you can wrap the band or the tube around your hands, keep it in front of your thighs, not beside you, keep the hands in front of you, and you're going to go down, drive the hips back like that, soften the knees a little bit, don't bend the knees too much. The emphasis is not on the knees, the emphasis is on the hips, and up, right? So again with the band, keep the hands in front of you, drive the hip back and in. Drive the hips back and in. Back and in. I don't want you to perform it like this. So don't bend the back like this. I want you to keep the back, arch the back, maintain the arch in your back. So look on the difference. Look on the difference between rounding the back like this and then arching it, all right? In order to arch the back, you have to drive the hips back just like that. So don't round it, arch the back like that. So you drive the hips back, keep the chest up and up, right? Again, maintain the upright posture of the chest, keep the chest up. You can look ahead of you if you want. That can also help in terms of keeping the chest up. So keep the chest up, maintain the arch in the back by driving the hips back, drive the hips back and up. Drive the hips back, focus on the hips. Keep the hands close to you, as if you're sliding the hands down your thighs. As if you're sliding the hands down the front of your thighs. All right? So that is what I want you to do. So you have the band, you're standing on the band, feet shoulder width apart, and you're keeping the chest up, you're driving the hips back, allow the knees to soften a little bit, and you're sliding the hands down the front of the thighs. Okay? Keep your core tight as you perform this exercise. This is the band deadlift. This can also be done with your dumbbells. Same technique, keeping the hands in front of the thighs. Can also be done with barbell, can be done with a Smith machine, can be done with resistance tubes if you have the resistance tubes with you. It can be done with the large resistance loops if you have the large resistance loops with you. It's a very good exercise for your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings.